What up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in with me, loved ones. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Joshua Humphrey, also known as the Kitchen Mechanic. You know what it is. So, lately I've just been on a really sweet tooth kick, making all types of desserts, cakes, banana puddings, everything like that. Today, though, I wanted to do something classic. It's actually quite simple, but to me, very elegant. So I'm gonna do a creme brulee. It's gonna take a little bit of time because all good things take time, obviously. You know what I'm saying? It's quite simple to put together. So let's start off with the basic ingredients. You're gonna start off with 4 eggs, half a cup of sugar, and you're gonna blend that in together. From there, you're also going to need 2 cups of heavy cream and vanilla extract, or whatever you would prefer, but we're going to use vanilla extract. I wish I had actual vanilla bean so that I could split it and put it in there, but I do not at this time, so I'm just going to use a tablespoon of vanilla extract and heavy cream, bring that up to a simmer, add that into the milk. Quite simple. So let's get started with the 4 eggs and half a cup of sugar. Rock that out, switch over, do the cream, and then I'm gonna show you guys everything else because I want to do a little twist to it, because you know I can't keep it too simple. You see what I'm saying? I gotta put a little something on it. Anyway, so I got my 4 eggs right here in my mixing bowl. I got a half a cup of sugar I'm gonna add to that. And from there, I am just going to mix this all in together. In the video, making creme brulee. It's eggs and sugar right now.
Then what else are you doing?
You're gonna add the heavy cream. Heavy cream and vanilla extract. Okay, so right now I've gotten the 4 eggs and the half a cup of sugar. I mixed that in really well. As we're going to switch over, alright, so we're going to switch over to this heavy cream. So here I have 2 cups of heavy cream, and I got this warming up, getting where it needs to be. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract to that. As I said earlier, I wish I had vanilla bean, but I don't have it at the moment. Things are a little crazy right now, so I'm sure you guys can understand that. So I've had my heavy cream warming up. Mix in my tablespoon of vanilla extract. So right now, this is warm enough to do what I need to do. You're going to take a strainer. You're going to pour it through the strainer, and then you're going to add it to your eggs. But because your cream is warm, obviously, you don't want to start adding too much at one time to your eggs. You can start cooking your eggs. So you're going to want to pour and add that slowly into there. And I'll show you just exactly what I'm talking about. So again, this is 2 cups of cream, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. So over here, I got my little container. I got my strainer I'm going to use right here for it. Make sure that it is heat resistant of some type, because this will be warm. And you don't want to obviously melt it or anything for that fact. So I'm just going to get that in there. right, so that's drained off quite a bit. Okay, so I got that all right here. That's my heavy cream and my vanilla extract. Right here I have my eggs, 4 eggs, half a cup of sugar. And pretty much from here, all you're going to do is slowly add your heavy cream because it's warm. You don't want to cook your eggs. A lot of people will temper them at first, which means to add a little bit of the heavy cream first and then go from there. That's pretty much what we're doing. We're just gonna add it very slowly so that we don't cook the eggs. So we're gonna start that off. Get to where you can see me. I got a towel down under so my bowl doesn't slide all over the place. That's why I have that there. And then you're gonna begin to add your heavy cream slowly. Make sure you guys can see. No, I'm going a little bit at a time. Making sure that I don't add too much of the hot liquid to the eggs, which would cook it. All right. So, as I said, man, it's simple. That is your base for your creme brulee. At that point, you can toss it in the oven in your ramekins and let it go from there. However, we are going to do something a little different. I'm going to put them in a couple of pie crust. And I went and got some smaller pie crust, the small mini pie crust. So, the pre-made little Keebler pie crust are super cool. They're very convenient. So we're going to pour the creme brulee into these. We're going to get them in the oven with the water bath, and we're going to let them cook. Now, technically, and a lot of recipes that I've seen say to pull out your creme brulee while it's still loose in the middle, is the word I'm looking for, I guess. It's still got a lot of shake in the middle. To me, I don't like that because when they're done, it still leaves it a little runny and raw at the end. And I like mine to be an actual custard. So I'm going to let it cook a little longer than the recipe that I saw. As a matter of fact, I turned up my oven to 325. So I turned it up a little bit. A lot of recipes you will notice and you will find that you need to do certain things, especially in your own home and in different kitchens, to cork the recipe to make it work for you. You may need to turn your temperature on your oven up. You may need to turn it down. It just kind of depends on what you're working in, what your environment is. But I've taken the recipe and I've had to make a couple of corks to it. I'm not going to pull the creme brulee out when it's still wiggly in the middle. I'm gonna cook it all the way through. I want it to be a nice, solid custard, and then we'll pull them out. We'll let them sit in the refrigerator from anywhere to about 2 to 3 hours to overnight. My plan is to let them sit overnight, which would be for best results. And like I said, it's simple. It's about 15 minutes to put together. It's about 2 to 3 hours to set in the refrigerator. But if you really want the best results, I would let it sit overnight. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to let it sit overnight. And that should be more than enough time to have a solid, nice creme brulee. So we're going to figure out how that's going to turn out. I think it should be pretty awesome. Okay, so I have preheated my oven, 325. Got that nice and hot. Now, the water bath, you're going to want to use warm water, preferably hot water. But you don't want to use cold water. It's going to take it forever to get up to temperature. It's going to take it forever to cook your creme brulees. So what I did do was, while I was preheating my oven, I went ahead and I put my water bath in there and let it get up to the exact same temperature as it would if it was going to be cooking. So the water's up to temperature. The oven's already hot. I'm going to add in my little pie crust because I think these are super cool and they're going to look so nice when I do the creme brulee and put the little fire over the top of it. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get these in there. We're going to do 4 of these, and then depending on how much batter I got left, I have a couple of little jars that we can use as well. So here I have my creme brulee batter. Now I had quite a few little bubbles on the top once I was done mixing it, and those bubbles will show up when you're cooking it. So what I did was I skimmed it off the top. Of course, you don't have to, because at the end, you're going to put sugar over it and you're going to caramelize that. So you're not even going to see it. But for me, I know it's there. So I just went ahead and skimmed off the little bubbles on the top. Make sure everything's all no bubbles. Then I'm going to fill these up. We're going to have little creme brulee pies, as well as I'll make a couple of little regular creme brulee. I think these are going to be super cool. Now, these are not the classic or traditional creme brulee, obviously, because I'm using a little pie crust. So, no big deal about that. However, I do have a couple of these little mason jars that we can do the creme brulees in as well. And I think that these will work pretty awesome. What I got 4 right there. That'll work, that'll work. It's not bad. And then we'll do a couple of small mason jars. So let's do 4 of those. So I'll do 4 regular. I'll do 4 in the little jars. We're going to get these in the oven for 1 hour. Okay? I will check them in an hour. If I don't think that they're done yet, then I'll give them a little bit more time. As I stated, you know, you're going to find recipes where you like the recipe a lot, but you may have to add a little something, subtract a little something, make it work for you. That's what it's all about. I mean, as being in a kitchen and being a utility cook and a pantry cook and working every station, you definitely got to make things work for you. You see what I'm saying? That's where the whole kitchen mechanic concept comes into play, because I can take something, I can make it work, and I can make it do what I want it to do. You see what I'm saying? Alright. So I got four of those. Now, if you got any extra or leftover batter, you can either make those, you can put it in this refrigerator and save it for a little bit, or you can just discard the rest. I don't think I can make very many with that, so I'm not gonna worry about that at all. So again, my oven, 325, preheated. My water is already warm. You don't want to do cold water. It'll take forever to cook and all that. So what I did was I preheated my oven. I already had my water bath in there heating up. Now that I'm ready, I'm gonna pull it out. Everything's warm. Put it in the oven 1 hour. We're gonna check it in 1 hour. If it's not ready in 1 hour, give it some more time. It's the low and slow process. So with that being said, we're gonna toss these in the oven, and we'll check back. We'll check back in an hour and see how those are turning out. And I'm excited because I'm a big fan of creme brulee. And like I said, you know what I'm saying, it takes time. But to me, a creme brulee is very elegant. I love the texture. I love the caramelized sugar over the top, the presentation of the whole thing. So, you know, I like the elegancy, obviously. You know, shit. Plus, they taste pretty good. So, we're going to let that go for about an hour. We're going to check up on it. And if it's not ready, then we'll give them more time. No biggie. Okay, so this is super awesome. You know what I'm saying? I said that we were going to put it in the oven for an hour. But I'm always checking it. So, actually, I just checked it, and we're only 40 minutes into the baking process, which is really cool because, as I stated earlier, you know, you got to move things around. You know what I'm saying? You got to make things work for you. So, hour might not work. Hour might be 40 minutes, like in this case. You know what I'm saying? Hour might be an hour and 10 minutes on your oven. Depends. You got to keep an eye on things and work with things. So, I'm glad this happened because it gives me a chance to be like, oh, you know what I was just talking about? Boom. And then it comes into play. So, like I said, I didn't want them wiggly in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I wanted them to be firm as an actual custard. So that's where we're at. We're going to pull them out. Okay, so come with me, check this out, Come with your boy, come on. Okay, so here they are right here. You know, you definitely got to be careful because your pan was just in the oven at 325 for 40 minutes. As I'm shaking it, you know, it's not wiggly, like very wiggly. So like this one right here, to me, that's going to be perfect. The other ones are very stiff and firm, and that's exactly what I wanted. I didn't want it to be loose in the inside. I wanted a custard. So that's what I got. So always keep an eye on your time, and a recipe may say one thing, but it might not work out in your situation, in your case, or in your kitchen. So you always got to be willing, ready, and able to maneuver a couple of things, change a few things, and make it work for yourself. That's why I am a kitchen mechanic, because I'm going to make it do what it do. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, long story short, these only took 40 minutes, not 60 minutes as I originally planned. I have pulled them out. I can go ahead and turn everything off because now comes the part that is going to be the absolute hardest. Putting them in the refrigerator for overnight and trying to make sure that they don't get bothered. So that's exactly what you're going to do. I've pulled them out of the oven. I'm going to put them on a tray or a rack or something that I can put in my refrigerator and keep them out of the way. In this instance, I'll use a little dish, a little baking dish. I like those. So let me show you. This one right here. Can you see it without it? Okay, maybe you could. So there's a couple of bubbles and everything on the top, and it's not really smooth and beautiful. Don't worry about that. Because at the end, you're going to put the sugar over the top. You're going to torch that sugar. You're going to get that crystallized. You're not even going to be able to see it. Not even going to see it. So I definitely like the way these turned out. They're solid, which lets me know that it's going to be a custard and it's not going to be loose in the middle. I did this one a while back and it was loose in the middle. Didn't like it. Did not like it. So these are going to be super dope. Of course, with the sugar over the top, hit it with the torch. These are going to be beautiful. Can you see that? There's too much light on there. But yeah, these are going to be rock stars. Move those over. Because I'm more worried about these. Alright, well anyway, I gotta find a way to get them all in my refrigerator for overnight, 24 hours or whatnot. So let me figure that out and I'll show you what they look like in not too long. Yo, that was the longest 24 hours of my life. But I kept my creme brulee safe, you know what I'm saying? So now let's go ahead and take a look at those. Sprinkle the sugar over the top, torch them up, and we're ready to rock and roll. Alright, so let's see what we got going on. I really like the little ones because I think that's going to be really cute with the little sugar over the top and everything. And then, of course, we have the classic, and they are pretty firm. So that's what I was looking for. I was looking for a solid little custard, and I like the way that turned out. So, granulated sugar would work best, but I don't have any of that here at the house. I just have regular sugar, which also works just fine. No biggie, no biggie. So just a little bit of sugar over the top, just to coat it just a little bit. I don't have a thick layer of sugar or anything like that on there. Just a tad bit. Just enough that when we torch it, it gives us a nice, beautiful glaze. If you do not have a torch at the house, then you should go get one. I needed one anyway because I love playing with them, but that's just me. So we're going to start with the small one first. Do not put your fire too close to it. You'll burn it, so keep it a little bit of ways. Little heat. Just to get it caramelized. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now we're going to do the same with the other one. Don't put it on too much. You just want to get it nice and just a little bit. Nice, 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 nice. Definitely like that, definitely. So, that is beautiful. I also have that one right here. So this is the classic creme brulee. And then, of course, I went ahead and made the one with the little pie. And I think this one is going to be the best. So, anyhow, let's recap. Eggs, sugar. Mix them up together well. We used 4 eggs. We used a half a cup of sugar. I blended those up real nice and well and everything. We used heavy whipping cream. Warmed that up with a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Once that got warmed up, we put it through the strainer, and then we slowly added the heavy cream with vanilla extract into the eggs so that we didn't cook the eggs in the middle of the process. So we added it nice and slow. That took about 15 minutes altogether. Like I said, the real time consuming thing is putting it in the refrigerator overnight, 24 hours to let it set. But 40 minutes in the oven, I originally said it was going to be an hour, but I keep an eye on it, and it only turned out to be 40 minutes. So always check your stuff, keep an eye on it. You might need to change some things, but I definitely like how these turned out, and thank you for joining me. I'm going to sit back and have some crab legs and creme brulee today. So that's what's up.